Here's the thing about engagement. Most brands are measuring engagement on social media wrong. Yes, I said it. And I say it because they're looking at that number, likes, comments, shares, saves, and they're making a judgment. And usually that judgment looks like high number, good, low number, bad. Hey, and welcome back to the Social Media CX Show. I'm your host, Brooke, CEO of B Squared Media, author of Conversations That Connect. And today, I'm closing out two of the most important months of content we have ever produced on this show. No pressure. This is week 4 of our June CARE series. And before I get into it, I just want to take a second to acknowledge what we've built together over the past 8 weeks. In May, we spent 4 weeks going deep on the social penetration theory, also called the onion theory, which is a 1973 relationship framework that explains, better than almost anything else I've found, why some brands build real, lasting communities on social media while others continue to shout into the void with cliches and facts, while the brands that are doing it right are using more opinions and feelings. We did 4 layers in 4 weeks: cliches, facts, opinions, feelings, with one through line throughout. The deeper the conversation, the deeper the trust. Then this month, June 2026, we've built on top of that foundation with our CARE framework. CARE stands for conversations, acquisition tagging, retention tagging, and today we get to the E, which is engagement. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, which is, Brooke, engagement is a vanity metric. Likes don't pay the bills. I've said this before, you've heard this before, and I totally hear you. But I want you to hang in there because what I'm about to tell you about engagement might change your mind completely. Here's the thing about engagement. Most brands are measuring engagement on social media wrong. Yes, I said it. And I say it because they're looking at that number, likes, comments, shares, saves, and they're making a judgment. And usually that judgment looks like high number, good, low number, bad. And when the number is low, they start to panic. So they are boosting the post, they're changing the content, they're chasing the algorithm. But what they almost never do is look at what the engagement is actually saying. Here's what we see across every client we've ever worked with. Meaningful engagement, the kind that actually moves the needle, doesn't just happen. It's being earned. It's being trained into how that social team manages content and the conversations that content produces. Hopefully it's producing conversations. And it's the result of everything that comes before it. So when you focus on the C in CARE, conversations, when you show up in the comments section, when you ask real questions, when your content aims to get people to converse with you, when you respond to every single person who takes the time to talk to you on social media, something shifts. Your audience learns that you're listening, that it feels like a safe place, that they feel like they belong. When you're tagging acquisition signals in those conversations and responding to those pre-purchase questions with genuine, helpful answers, your audience is learning that not only are you listening, but that you're knowledgeable, that you want to help, that they can rely on you. When you're catching retention risks early, hopefully, and resolving that friction or that churn before things escalate, your audience learns that you're trustworthy, that you care, that you actually want to solve their problems. And when your audience knows that you're listening, that you're knowledgeable, that you're trustworthy, they talk to you. Not just liking, not just saving, actually conversing with you through your social media content on your social media channels. You're creating comment threads, you're creating real questions, you're getting real opinions, disagreements, stories. That kind of engagement is what the algorithms reward because it signals that something real is happening. That kind of engagement that when you tag it correctly, you code it correctly, you do all of the things we've been talking about, it does stop being a vanity metric, and it really becomes one of the richest data sources that you have, or what we call social intelligence. Now, I want to introduce a concept that I think reframes everything we've talked about this month, which is that CARE, conversations, acquisition, retention, engagement, isn't a checklist. It's really a flywheel. And here's how that works. When you focus on the C, conversations and CARE, really focus, not just scheduling posts and hoping, you start building that foundation of trust. Your audience starts to begin to feel safe engaging with you. They're answering your questions. They're asking their questions. They're sharing opinions and feelings. They tell you things they wouldn't tell you probably in a survey or a paid focus group. Those conversations start to feed you the acquisition signals. Real ones, the ones where people are telling you, hey, I'm considering buying this, or hey, I don't know if I want to buy it. Like they're telling you what's holding them back. They're telling them what would push them over the edge. Do you have any discounts? Can you offer free shipping, right? This is real voice of customer feedback on acquisition. And then at the same time, retention is also happening. People feel comfortable telling you where the friction is. They probably feel comfortable doing that anyway, but they get more comfortable and maybe the edge or the sting comes out because they know they can go to you and you're actually going to listen and respond. So they're going to tell you, hey, I'm frustrated. Here's what I'm thinking. Here's why I'm thinking about leaving. And when you handle all of that, the C, the A, and the R, when you respond, when you resolve, and when you show up consistently, something remarkable happens. Engagement gets easier. It gets deeper. Because in the way that you've been looking at CARE, conversations, acquisition, retention, you've been training your audience that you're vulnerable. We've been talking about that vulnerability piece and how it's hard for brands to do. Systematize it. Use the CARE framework because that is how you show that you're vulnerable, that you're human, that you actually care what they think. And then they start being, your customers and would-be customers, vulnerable back. And if that sounds familiar, it should, because that is the social penetration theory, the onion theory, SPT. We call it all kinds of things around here in action. So May and June are really the same philosophy. They just have a little bit of different frameworks or the way to approach them. The bottom line is the deeper the conversations, the deeper the trust. The deeper the trust, the more meaningful engagement. The more meaningful engagement, the more conversations. Now you're starting to see the flywheel, right? The more conversations, the more you get to tag. The more that you tag, the more you code, the more you label, the better your data. And round the flywheel goes. Every rotation makes the whole thing faster, stronger, and more valuable, not just to you, but to your customers and would-be customers. I want to spend just a minute on the algorithm side of this because it matters too. But every major social media platform right now in the year June 2026 is optimizing for one thing above everything else. They optimize for a lot of things, but there's one thing above everything else that they all optimize for: meaningful interaction. Not reach, not impressions, not how many times, somebody liked something or became a follower. It's how long did they stop? Did you stop the scroll? Did they comment? Did someone answer or reply to that comment? Did a comment thread form, right? Major engagement or meaningful engagement looks like that. So when CARE is working, when CAR has done its job, and your audience is genuinely engaged, the algorithm notices. It rewards you. It's going to amplify your content to more people. More people means more conversations. More conversations mean more tagging opportunities. More tagging means better acquisition and retention data. Better data or social intelligence means smarter content and CARE decisions. Which means, you guessed it, even better engagement. The flywheel keeps spinning. The beautiful part here is that you're not paying for any of this. This is not paid media, where the minute you stop paying in, those results stop coming in. This is organic. You earned it, one conversation at a time. I started May by telling you about this 1973 theory that I wrote my undergraduate thesis on, which was the social penetration theory. Altman and Taylor, the two social psychologists, and we went through the onion model of human relationships. I told you that I built my entire agency and my entire philosophy around one central idea from that theory, and that is that relationships deepen through conversation, not through content, not through campaigns, through real dialogue. And I also told you that think conversation, not campaign isn't just a tagline. It really is our operating system at B Squared Media. 8 weeks later, I hope you still feel that, because CARE is the SPT applied to business. The C is the cliche layer broken open. Real conversations instead of scheduled noise. The A, or acquisition, is facts made actionable, right? The data that tells you who's ready to buy. The R, in retention, is opinions and feelings being honored, catching those frictions or churn signals before someone leaves. And E, engagement, is what happens when all of that compounds. Your audience trusting you enough to show up, to talk back, to be vulnerable, because you showed them first that you were all of those things. Y'all, that's the whole game. I literally just gave you all my IP. Please go do something amazing with it. If this series is lighting you up, if you're sitting there thinking, I need to build this system for my organization, the CARE blueprint is exactly where to start. I want you to go check out the course I built, which teaches you everything we've covered this month about CARE, how to set up your conversation coding, how to tag acquisition and retention signals, how to turn engagement from a vanity metric into a data engine or a flywheel, how to build the ROI case that finally makes social care make sense to the people who hold your budget within your company. You can find the course at courses.bsquared.media/courses/care, or way easier, wherever you're watching or listening to this, just run to the transcript or the show notes on that platform, and you'll see a link to the course there. And if you use the code SMCX, like the name of this podcast, at checkout, you will get 50% off of the course, which will bring it down to just $48. For the system that ties SPT and CARE together into a complete social strategy built around trust, loyalty, and measurable business outcomes, $48 sounds pretty darn good. I mean, come on. I spend $48 on coffee, I feel like, these days. Anyways, I'm so proud of what we've all built together over these 8 weeks. May taught you the theory. June has given you the framework. You now truly have everything you need to go build something real with your social media channels and strategy. I don't want you to be louder. I don't want you to do more. It's not about adding another platform. It's really not even about being faster. Yes, we want to get faster with our replies, but it's really just about doing the deep work. We need to go deeper, because I promise you the brands that are winning on social right now and the ones who will continue to win are not the ones who are posting the most. They've gotten off the content hamster wheel. They are the ones who are trying to connect the best through these conversations. So I want you to go build that CARE flywheel that we just talked about this month. As always, if the show has been helping you think differently about customer experience, social media, how to get return investment out of social media, crazy 1973 weird named communication theories, please go rate and review us. It will totally make my day. It also helps us bring on more brilliant voices and keeps the community growing with intention, which is important because next month, y'all, the entire month of July in 2026 is dedicated to artificial intelligence, AI, and social media. I have a ton of amazing guests who will be coming on, so you won't have to listen to me drone on about it. So stay tuned. And until next time, think conversation, not campaign.